Hey, welcome back to How to Barbecue Right. I'm Malcolm Reed. It's time for pulled pork for breakfast, y'all. I'm gonna do some Eggs Benedict Southern style. Got this beautiful compart pork butt here. We're gonna get it seasoned up with some of my sausage seasoning and some brown sugar. Low and slow cook overnight. In the morning, I'm gonna show you what it's like to make a Southern Eggs Benedict. Let's get to cooking. So I've got a 9-pound compart Durox Family Farms pork butt. Now this dude right here is the Cadillac of pork. I'm just gonna get it out of this cryovac. We don't want any of that juice in here, we're done with that. So I'm gonna get this big old butt seasoned up breakfast style. That means I'm gonna use some sausage seasoning on it, some brown sugar, something that's gonna give it more of a savory, a little bit of a sweet note, but it's gonna make a beautiful crust on the outside. So let's flip this butt over. And what I've done, I've taken my country sausage seasoning, mixed it with 1 cup of brown sugar, just equally. We're gonna coat the outside of this butt. I'm going pretty heavy. I want that brown sugar to caramelize. I want it to get dark. I want it to make a good bark. It's not gonna burn on us because we're gonna keep the temps low and slow on this cook. I'm talking 225 the entire time. And once we get a good coating on the fat side, I'm gonna flip it over. Since I'm cooking it on my Traeger low and slow, I'm leaving that fat down. We're gonna make all that bark on the meat side of this butt. We're gonna do the same thing. Just get a good dose of this brown sugar, sausage seasoning. You can smell the sage in it. You can see the red pepper flakes. All those good seasonings you associate with the breakfast sausage, that's what this is all about. Now you notice I didn't trim, I didn't do anything. This butt was straight out the package. It gets that sausage seasoning and sugar blend on it. Then I wanted to sit here and work on this meat for about 30 minutes. You can just leave it out on the counter. If you're outside, you can cover it with a little foil if you want to. Now we're gonna fire the pit up. So for this cook, it's gonna be a low, slow, overnight cook. It's gonna take at least 12 hours, maybe 14. I'm not worried about the final time. Not worried about the final temperature. I'm going by feel alone. I'm gonna run my pit at 225. I'm using my Traeger. I'm gonna make sure I got it full of good hickory pellets. Make sure it's got pellets in it when I go to bed. That way I don't have to worry about it running out overnight. And you can cook this recipe on any pit. Just make sure you stay at 225. The pellet grill's easy though. I don't have to worry about it overnight. As long as I keep it full of pellets, it's good to go. As soon as that Traeger gets up to 225, I'm ready to put this pork butt on. I'm just going right center of the grill, not doing anything fancy to it. I'm gonna close the lid, hit the super smoke, and I ain't gonna touch it till tomorrow morning. We're not wrapping, we're not doing anything. I just want it to get in that smoke, get happy, render out all that goodness. It's gonna be some juicy pork. It's gonna have an awesome bark on the outside. It's gonna be packed with some breakfast flavor, I guarantee it. All right, this compart butt has been cooking all night. It's about breakfast time here. Now I want y'all to check out, we still got it on super smoke. You can see I still got a little bit of smoke rolling. But look at the bark that sausage seasoning and the brown sugar put on the outside. The bone's just ready to pop out. I mean, I can wiggle it right there. So what I'm looking for is super soft texture. I just went smooth through. I mean, that's just gravity pulling that probe down. It's probing about 193, that's perfect. It's soft back by the bone. This butt's done. I mean, it's 14 hours at 225, no wrap, puts a beautiful bark on it. We're ready to get it off, let it rest a little bit. Now normally, a pork butt would go up to close to 200 degrees, but when you're cooking one no wrap, real low, it's not gonna hit that 200-degree mark. It's staying around 190. That's where all that fat's rendering. That's what you want it to do. You don't have to push it so hard when you're giving it 12, 14 hours to cook, low and slow. So now we're ready to just take this pork butt over to the cutting board and let it rest. I'm gonna just put a little foil over it. I'm not wrapping it tight. I gotta go inside, cook some biscuits up, then we're gonna make a Hollandaise sauce and fry some eggs because it's about to be breakfast time. So let's put together a Hollandaise sauce. I'm starting with 4 egg yolks right in the top of my double boiler. Then I need some lemon juice. You need about a tablespoon. And then we're just gonna whisk it up. You want to whisk it till it kind of changes color a little bit so it's not bright yellow. Now that looks good. I want to see it just like that. It kind of doubles in volume a little bit. It's got that good pale color to it. And we're going to set it over some simmering water. You don't want it boiling because we don't want to scramble the eggs. We just want to gently cook them. As it's heating up, I've got a stick of melted butter. We're just going to drizzle in a little and then start whisking. We're cooking the egg yolk without scrambling it. If you notice it gets too hot, just pick it up. Let it off the steam. Drizzle in a little more butter, and we're just gonna keep doing this till we get that whole stick of butter incorporated into our Hollandaise. So once our sauce thickens up, you can kind of see it scrape, and you can see the bottom of the pan noticeably thicker. That's when you want to get it off the heat. But I'm gonna season it with a little bit of my hot barbecue rub. Normally you'd put a pinch of cayenne, maybe a little salt, but this hot rub is gonna give it a nice touch. It's gonna go with the pulled pork, and we just wanna keep it off to the side until we're ready to serve it. We're gonna fry up a couple eggs here to go with the pulled pork this morning. We got a pan of biscuits coming hot out the oven. Gotta get some butter on those. All right, so I've got the eggs ready, the biscuits are ready, the Hollandaise is sitting over to the side. It's time to get off in this butt. But I want y'all to see this. I mean, look at how beautiful this breakfast style Compart-Duroc pulled pork is. I mean, it is juicy, and it is just coming apart in my hands. I'm gonna get some back in here where that blade bone was. I like that meat. A little bit different texture, good smoke ring to it. So this is the moment I've been waiting on. It's time to eat some breakfast. So I've got these big old biscuits. I'm gonna take a couple of them, get them on my plate here. Then I'm gonna top them with a little bit of this hot pepper jam right on top of our warm biscuits here, fresh out of the oven. I cheated on these biscuits today. These were just frozen biscuits. If you got a biscuit recipe and you wanna make some, hey, go for it. Now we're ready to pile up some of this pulled pork. I'm just gonna grab some of it, put it right on top of these biscuits. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Now we're ready for the fried egg over the top. One right there, one right here. Then we've got to drizzle our warm Hollandaise right over the eggs. Give it a little drizzle. Let it slide off. And to punch it up, got just a little bit more of that hot rub to give it some color. Now you know I got to try this. Let's see how we did on these eggs. Let's let some of that yolk run. Oh yes. I'm gonna get a bite right down in here through the biscuit with the runny egg yolk, the hot bacon jam with the peppers in it. Look at that. That looks beautiful. Pulled pork on a biscuit. That pulled pork for breakfast is jam up. Eggs Benedict on a southern level right here, y'all. This is some fine victuals. If this is wrong, I don't want to be right. I'm telling y'all, that sausage seasoning bark, that's where it's at come breakfast time. Hey, if y'all never had pulled pork for breakfast, trust me, this will make a fat boy happy. Y'all got to try it. Thanks for hanging out with me today at HowToBBQRight. If you like what we're doing, subscribe to the channel. You know you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even the TikTok. We got that going on. Shell and I will be talking about this Southern style Eggs Benedict on our weekly podcast. Y'all tune in, give that a listen. We'll see y'all next time. Holy smokes, that's a $20 breakfast. I'd pay good money for this right here. Biscuits can't be ate no other way now.